be impossible for Intuit to anticipate all the ways that a user might need to see that data. When employees and team members get frustrated that they can't get what they need at a single click, they export the data and they manage it out there.
Today we are diving into the world of custom reporting, focusing on how businesses can unlock true power of their accounting software and eliminate data chaos.
The strategy is eliminating manual processes that take time and that are error-prone. The relief that is experienced by either a business owner or one of your team members. You need to ferret out those manual processes and relieve them of that.
Hello everyone, this is Kripa Anand and welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast, where we explore the strategic insights and innovative solutions empowering Canadian entrepreneurs to navigate the complexities of business finance. Today we are diving into the world of custom reporting, focusing on how businesses can unlock true power of their accounting software and eliminate data chaos. In an era where data-driven decision-making is paramount, many businesses using platforms like QuickBooks struggle to get their precise insights that they need. Our guest today has built her mission on solving this very problem, freeing business leaders from the insanity of Excel export gymnastics. Joining us today is Angela Meharg, founder of Datisfy, a boutique consulting firm specializing in custom reporting solutions for companies using QuickBooks. A 29-year veteran in analytics and business intelligence, Angela was a 5-time recipient of the Top 100 QuickBooks Pro Advisor Award. Her mission is to help businesses get the tailored insights they need to make better decisions, particularly for industries like manufacturing, inventory, and construction. So before further ado, let's welcome this special guest. Angela, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's fabulous to be here.
It's our pleasure. Now, Angela, you believe that most businesses barely scratch the surface of what their accounting system can do, right? Your work is all about unlocking that potential. So, where did it all start from? What's the story? How did you get into doing this?
My original career had been in database reporting and analytics, and I was a freelancer, so I worked on hundreds of different database systems since 1998. And then in 2013, a friend of mine who's a CFO said, "Hey, Angela, I know you do reporting. We need a split commission report, and we use QuickBooks. Can you help us out?"
Wow.
And I naively said, "It's just QuickBooks. How hard could it be?"
Right.
And then I found out how hard it was for me to access that data, get it out and into the format that that particular customer needed. We did it. I kind of vowed never to touch QuickBooks again, but I wrote a blog post about the experience, and then people started to find me and beg for custom reports for QuickBooks.
Amazing. So you found a gap and you found a solution to bridge that.
Exactly. And then since incorporating in 2014, that is literally all we do, custom reporting for QuickBooks.
Wow, that's amazing. From your experience, Angela, how can custom reporting unlock the true power of QuickBooks, providing the kind of comprehensive insights and control that businesses would expect from a high-end ERP system, right? But without the massive price tag or business disruption. The reason why I'm asking is because a lot of SMEs listening to this, they are usually on a budget restraint. So they'll be interested. Go ahead.
It would be impossible for Intuit, the makers of QuickBooks, to anticipate all the ways that a user might need to see that data. Impossible.
Right.
Even within the same industry, the kinds of things you need to get out of your system will be different because you have different objectives and you may have entered the data slightly differently, which means the existing reports may not work as they're designed.
The format is different now.
Right. So you may have to do workarounds, but that leads to another issue, which is workarounds, data silos. When employees and team members get frustrated that they can't get what they need at a single click, they export the data and they manage it out there, not in the system.
Right.
That's risky. It's time consuming. It's error prone. It's just not a good use of resources. And when you look at ERP systems, like ones that are much more, even SAP, it's massive and complicated, but they still need custom reports. That's where I got started, was those kinds of systems, big systems. So why shouldn't QuickBooks users have access to exactly what they need at a single click?
Definitely, and they deserve it, right?
Yes, they work so hard.
Exactly. Yeah.
People who work in small and medium-sized businesses work so hard to cover everything.
They're often juggling between so many hats, trying to do everything by themselves. So such a custom created solution really helps. Wow, that's a powerful value proposition, Angela. It's clear that custom reports can elevate, an accounting system's functionality to a whole new level, and a whole lot of new opportunities can be unlocked. Now, let's address a universal pain point for many teams, and that is the time wasted on manual recurring Excel tasks that we just mentioned. A common a common challenge for businesses is the countless hours spent every month on exporting data and massaging their spreadsheets. So, how exactly does custom reporting automation save their time, effort, reduce the errors, and help leaders focus on what truly matters? And that is the strategy behind it, right?
Yeah.
Walk us through it.
You might think of this more as a tactic to add a custom report to your system than a strategy, but the strategy is eliminating manual processes that take time and that are error prone. That in itself is worth a lot.
Right.
So, for example, commission reports. There is no field in QuickBooks that allows you to add a sales rep's commission rate, and that is not even the only way you calculate commissions. There are literally hundreds. There are so many ways to calculate
overlapping
commissions. Yes, it overlapping. Could be tiers, could be just the item, could be the customer pricing itself, could be a sales rep, could be a sales manager, a second tier of, there's just no way to do that in the system. So you absolutely have to take the data out. But the data is in there. So if you, like we have done, and this really applies to any system, it's not just QuickBooks, but the limitations are what have pushed me into this particular area, because it really breaks my heart to see those kinds of gymnastics with Excel that people have to go through with Excel every month or every week or however often it is.
No, definitely, and that's a very real world example as well, right? It vividly illustrates how custom reporting can transform a tedious, boring, error prone into a seamless, automated process. Wow, it sounds like magic. Hello, Canadian business owners. Are you struggling with QuickBooks reports or wasting time on manual Excel tasks? Learn from Angela Meharg, founder of Datisfy, on how custom reporting can unlock your accounting data, eliminate report chaos, and empower you to focus on growing your business. Now let's continue our conversation with Angela. Angela, with so many businesses relying on QuickBooks, it's important for them to understand its strengths and limitations in, deeper detail. So, from your experience, what's the biggest mistake that, you've seen people make with QuickBooks online, and what's the solution to it? How can they stop making that same exact mistake?
I'm going to tell you two different things.
Sure.
Because one of them is actually not related to reporting. Not directly anyway. But I think of this as a public service announcement.
Go ahead.
In the small print, when you sign up for QuickBooks Online in particular, Intuit is not responsible for the data that you enter. There is no backup. There's no backup.
Right.
So there are many tools, a few tools that I have heard about and I know people have tested to back up your data. Because if you get an employee who does something either wrong,
a few clicks and, whoosh,
or even maliciously, and you need to roll that back, there's no way to do it without some of these tools. They're not expensive at all and totally worth it. Think of it as insurance.
Wow.
Okay, that's number one. Number two is when you enter that data into this system, it's best to do it as it's designed to be entered. So put things in the right places.
Mm-hmm.
That gives us the best chance of pulling it out.
Right. Makes sense.
And when you use custom fields, for example, because there will be things that your company needs to measure that there's no place to put
Right.
in QuickBooks. And there are a few custom fields available, both in QuickBooks Desktop and QuickBooks Online. So the one thing is, though, with QuickBooks Online Advanced,
Mm-hmm.
they offer quite a few options for
Mm-hmm.
custom fields.
Wow.
So you can put up to 12 of them in for customers and different things, different data points that you want to follow. However,
Mm-hmm.
this just makes me cry. They have different formats or data structures
Right.
or data types for those kinds of custom fields. Unless you use the very plain text one, they're
Yeah.
useless. We can't get at them. They don't make them available. So if you use the date function or data type, or use the drop down list data type, they're very handy
Right.
to put that in there, but you can't get at it and do anything with it for QuickBooks Online Advanced. The other thing that is just utterly, I think, insane
Mm-hmm.
is Intuit finally just announced that they're going to expose all 12 custom fields to the API, the Application Programming Interface, in
Wow.
QuickBooks Online. We've been waiting for years for that, to get at that data through other tools to connect to the system.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's only available to QuickBooks Online Advanced users. So if you are in Essentials or Plus,
Mm-hmm.
you still don't get access to your custom fields. Kind of insane.
Right.
So you have to be cautious about how you use them. Is kind of my point. You have to think ahead, and you have to perhaps speak with a data modeling and reporting specialist to figure out what it is that you need out of those and what you might need in the future.
Wow, that's great food for thought, I'd say, Angela. And that's incredibly valuable advice as well. I think avoiding those common mistakes and, making informed platform decisions are crucial for sustainable and long-term success of your business, right? All right, it's time for a quick break right here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more insights. Stay tuned.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. You still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
Welcome back, listeners. Now let's continue our conversation with Angela. Now let's turn to your unique value proposition, and that is a customer service zealot's approach to consulting. So we hear that a former manager once called you a customer service zealot, and you wear that title very proudly, right? So how exactly did he, get the opportunity to call you that, and what's the story there?
I am like a dog with a bone to solve a problem.
Okay.
There's nothing more satisfying for me than solving a problem for someone who's using a tool
Right.
that can't get it to work the way they need it.
Hmm.
And that's really it's my ethos for everything that I do. It's my ethic.
Right.
We will solve the problem. If we can't solve the problem, we'll find another workaround to get you there. I think that's important because small and medium-sized businesses, as we said already, they are pushing everything to the limit within their limited resources. And I want to help. I just want to help.
Wow, that's such, a wholesome answer and a compelling differentiator as well. It's clear that, your utmost commitment to customer service and a deep understanding of your clients' operations are key to your success. Now, I understand that Datisfy recently launched a manufacturing reporting package tailored for businesses using QuickBooks Desktop Enterprise. A huge congratulations. And how does this new offering help companies in that specific sector?
Well, first, let me say that we didn't invent these reports out of thin air. That what we have created are actual solutions that were requested. Okay. So if you could imagine you manufacture an object, so you have many component parts.
Right.
There is no single report, a comprehensive report inside of QuickBooks Desktop Enterprise that will tell you how many of each component is currently needed for all of your open sales orders. Like, there's no way to know unless you look at one item at a time. So we've built that. So 5 levels deep, we can do more, but nobody's really needed more 5 levels deep of sub-assemblies in sub-assemblies in sub-assemblies. Right. So a way of looking at what can we fulfill? What can we produce today, right this minute, because we know we have the component parts available. And then also planning, when do you need those parts? Because if you have sales orders that are due in a month, but you're not getting the replenishments for 8 weeks, what are you going to do? But you need to be able to see that in advance. So this package of reports solves all of that, so you can have a visual of where your weak spots are.
Wow, that's a fantastic specialized offering, Angela, addressing, the specific needs of a key industry. Now, AI has changed a lot of things, a lot of the ways that people have work, they try to consume information. How would you say AI, in simple terms, has affected your industry?
For sure, AI is being used to be built into the software like QuickBooks Online to do bank reconciliations and recognizing transactions and coding them to be in the right account, those sorts of things. Not much has happened yet with reporting.
Okay.
If you think back a couple of, I don't know, is it 2 decades now, the concept of big data. That was a big, huge buzzword.
Yes.
Small and medium-sized businesses rarely used anything like that. They just didn't have the time to delve into what those benefits might be for, consolidating lots of data. With AI, I'm sure eventually these kinds of custom reports, you could just ask it to say, I want this, 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 and this, and it will probably throw that together. And in fact, now you could take a spreadsheet and load it into ChatGPT and say, hey, I want a custom financial profit and loss statement.
Right.
It will put it together. But it's not automated. It's not a single click. And sometimes you have to work back and forth to get it to be what you need.
Yes, if your prompt is,
exactly.
Work. Yeah.
So we're not quite there yet. We have to, and a lot of times, say a business owner who runs a small business or medium-sized business, they don't actually know what to ask for because they don't understand the underlying structure of the data.
Right.
And there's no AI reporting tool to connect to your QuickBooks yet. So for now, we're happy to help.
No, definitely that's a very forward-looking perspective, Angela. And even with AI coming into the picture, I think that human connection, that human touch is always going to be there. So you guys are here for the long run. If I were to ask you your secret sauce, Angela, of running a successful business, what would it be? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Basically, never tolerating manual processes.
Wow, that's a very smart answer.
Particularly if they're recurrent. If it's a one-off thing, you want to figure this one thing out. But if you're going to ask that same question of your data on a regular basis, don't tolerate manual processes.
Makes sense, and it's just going to make your work much more easier, smoother, and faster, right? Wow. I'm loving this conversation and I don't want this to come to an end, but definitely we'll invite her again for an episode 2.0 where we can talk about so many other things. But for now, before we let you go, Angela, if there's one piece of final advice that you have for our listeners today, something that you want them to remember about you, about not doing the tasks manually, what would it be and why?
I think it would be, I often just come back to that. It's not high tech, right? It's not super fancy, but the relief that is experienced by either a business owner or one of your team members, because you might not know how many steps someone on your team is going through to give you the report that you asked for. You need to ferret out those manual processes and relieve them of that. That's not great use of human energy. There could be much more value-added things they could be doing for you.
That's a wholesome perspective. Angela, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise and vision with us.
Thank you so much. You can tell I love to talk about these things.
Yes. And as I said, you're coming back again. Stay tuned. All right, that was an insightful conversation with Angela Meharg, founder of Datisfy, on how custom reports unlock the power of QuickBooks, eliminating manual Excel tasks, QuickBook insider tips, and the future of AI and innovation in business intelligence. To all of our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. We really appreciate your continued support. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more expert insights and resources that can help your business thrive. You can also visit our website, CanadianSME.ca. And lastly, a very special thank you to our podcast partners, RBC, UPS, A1 Global College, ADP, and Google for their ongoing commitment to empowering SMEs in Canada. So, until next time, keep innovating and striving for success. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Kripa Anand signing off.